Good evening, and welcome to the Crypto Overnighter. I'm Nicodemus, and I will be your host as we take a look at the latest cryptocurrency news and analysis. So sit back, relax, and let's get started. And remember, none of this is financial advice. And it's 10 p.m. Pacific time on a Wednesday, May 11th, 2023. And it just worked out tonight. It's just a very Eurocentric night in the news. The European Union is getting ready to make it harder for people to avoid paying taxes on their crypto holdings. Last week, EU ambassadors unanimously supported a new law. This law requires companies to report digital asset transactions to tax authorities. The EU's finance ministers expect to adopt the law next week. The new law is part of a global effort to crack down on tax evasion using crypto. The Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development, or OECD, has been working on new rules for taxing crypto companies for several years. This new tax law is based on the OECD's proposals. It will make it harder for people to hide their crypto holdings from tax authorities. Companies that provide cryptocurrency services, such as exchanges and wallets, will be required to report all transactions to tax authorities. This will include information about the sender, receiver, and transaction amount. This new law is likely to have a significant impact on the cryptocurrency markets. Some people may be less likely to invest in crypto if they know their transactions will be reported to tax authorities. Others may see the new law as a sign that the industry is maturing and becoming more legit. The EU is clearly taking a serious approach to regulating cryptocurrency. This is likely to have a significant effect on the way cryptocurrency is used and traded in the years to come. Only time will tell what that long-term impact is. And while it is difficult to say what the long-term impact of this new EU law will be, there are a few things that we can expect. First, we can expect to see more transparency in the crypto markets. With companies now required to report all transactions to tax authorities, it will be much more difficult for people to hide their crypto holdings. This could lead to a decrease in tax evasion and money laundering. Second, we can expect to see more regulation of the crypto markets. EU is one of the many jurisdictions that are looking to regulate crypto. Governments worldwide are increasingly concerned about the risks posed by cryptocurrencies, including market manipulation and fraud. As a result, we can expect to see more regulations imposed on the crypto markets in the coming years. Overall, this new law is likely to have a significant impact. It's too early to say what the long-term impact will be, but we can expect to see more transparency, regulation, and consolidation in the coming years. In continuing tonight's stories on the EU, the European Union has passed new cryptocurrency regulations called MiCA. MiCA stands for Markets and Crypto Assets, and it's the name of regulations designed to protect consumers and investors and to stabilize the crypto market. Now, stablecoins are cryptocurrencies pegged to a fiat currency such as the euro or the dollar, or at least they're supposed to be. They are designed to be stable in value, and they are often used as a way to store value or to make payments. Now, one of the critical provisions of MiCA is that it requires stablecoin issuers to obtain a license from the European Commission. MiCA also requires that stablecoin issuers hold sufficient reserves to back their tokens. This means even if the stablecoin issuer were to fail, investors could still redeem their stablecoins for the equivalent value in fiat currency. In addition to these requirements, MiCA also imposes a number of other rules on the crypto market. For example, it requires crypto exchanges to register with the European Commission. It also prohibits using crypto for money laundering or terrorist financing. These new regulations are expected to impact the crypto market significantly. Some experts believe they will make the market more stable and attractive to investors. Others think that they will stifle innovation and make it more difficult for new companies to enter the market. Overall, it will be difficult to predict the impact of MiCA on the crypto markets. However, we can say a few things with some certainty. First, MiCA is likely to make the crypto markets more stable. That's because the regulations will require stablecoin issuers to hold sufficient reserves. It also requires them to obtain a license from the European Commission. These requirements will make it more difficult for stablecoin issuers to fail, which will, in turn, help protect investors. Second, MiCA is likely to make the crypto market more transparent. The regulations will require crypto exchanges to register with the European Commission. They will also be required to provide information about their activities. This will help investors make informed decisions about where to invest their money. Third, MiCA will likely make it more difficult for criminals to use crypto for money laundering or terrorist financing. The regulations will require crypto exchanges to implement anti-money laundering and know your customer procedures. These procedures will help to identify and prevent criminals from using crypto for illegal activities. Overall, MiCA is likely to impact the crypto markets positively. The regulations will make the markets more stable and transparent, and it makes the markets more attractive to investors and less attractive to criminals. This can only help to create a more favorable environment for crypto investors and businesses. But does that make it right for the United States? The EU MiCA regulation could serve as a model for crypto rules in the United States. That's according to Hester Pierce, a U.S. Securities Exchange Commission commissioner. MiCA sets clear rules for companies operating in the crypto space, and it protects consumers against fraud and market manipulation. Now, Pierce said that MiCA is a good model for the U.S. because it strikes a balance between protecting consumers and promoting innovation. She said the U.S. should look to the EU and see what they've done and try to find a way to do something similar here. Her words. And I would agree with her, though. As it stands, the U.S. has been slow to regulate the crypto industry. This has created uncertainty for businesses and investors alike. Pierce said that this lack of regulation is hurting the U.S. crypto industry. She urged regulators to move more quickly to develop clear rules. It's unclear when the U.S. will pass its own crypto regulation. Even so, Pierce's comments suggest that MiCA could be a significant influence. If the U.S. follows the EU's lead, it could create a more stable and predictable environment for the crypto industry, leading to increased investment and innovation. Overall, the passage of MiCA is a positive development for all crypto markets. It provides much needed clarity and regulation for the industry and will likely attract more investment and innovation. It also provides an excellent example of what to start with in the future. The U.S. is still lagging behind the EU regarding crypto regulation, but Pierce's comments suggest the U.S. could be moving in the right direction. Circle, the issuer of the USDC stablecoin, has announced that it would not hold treasuries that mature after early June. They have concerns that the U.S. government may fail to raise the debt ceiling. This would lead to a default on its debt. CEO Jeremy Allaire told Politico in a news interview, quote, "We don't want to carry exposure through a potential breach of the ability of the U.S. government to pay its debts." Disclosure from the Circle Reserve Fund show that it currently holds no U.S. government debt that matures after May 31st. The U.S. government is currently implementing special measures to meet its obligations. This includes pausing contributions to government workers' retirement funds to tide itself over until the X date in June. However, Democrats and Republicans in Congress disagree over raising the government's borrowing limit. While a last-minute deal to avoid default is likely, Circle is not alone in avoiding treasuries that mature after that X date. The yield on the Treasury bill maturing May 23rd has declined to about 4.2%. The yield for the bill maturing on June 13th has risen to nearly 5.5%, according to Bloomberg. Circle's USDC stablecoin is the second largest after Tether. They have approximately $29 billion worth in circulation. In a statement accompanying its quarterly reports, Tether revealed about 85% of its reserves are held in cash, cash equivalents, and other short-term deposits. Overall, the situation is very uncertain. The government may raise the debt ceiling, and nothing terrible would happen. But it's also possible that the government would default on its debt, or something else could hurt the crypto markets. And for the third night in a row, we have a CBDC alert, this time in Hungary. Their central bank says that they're in no big hurry to issue a digital currency. Even so, they're still exploring the possibility. Aniko Sambadi is the chief digital officer at the Hungarian National Bank. She said Wednesday that there's no immediate need for a widely available central bank digital currency. But she added that the bank is conducting pilots to see if a CBDC could help bank the unbanked. Somebody said that 13% of Hungarian adults don't have bank accounts. The question is if a CBDC could help them access financial services. Central banks around the world are exploring the possibility of issuing CBDCs. The EU will decide later this year whether to start developing a digital euro. Zambari said that Hungary is still in the early stages of exploring CBDCs, but wants to be at the forefront of research in the area. Now, so far, CBDCs are still in the early stages of development, and they're still being determined when or even if they will be widely adopted. But let's be clear. CBDCs are issued by central banks. They're not cryptocurrencies. They fool people into thinking that CBDCs are just as good as crypto. They claim to offer several advantages over traditional currencies, such as lower transaction fees and greater security, just like crypto, but they're not crypto, and they're not just like crypto, and they're not just as good as crypto. As a result, the crypto markets will likely continue to grow in the years to come, even if central banks do eventually start issuing CBDCs. And our last story for tonight is our cover story. You know how much I like crypto wallets, and you've heard me rant that people should have custody of their own crypto. A new crypto wallet called Croesus has just launched. It differs from other wallets because it doesn't require users to write down a recovery phrase or seed words when setting up an account. That makes it easier to use and more secure. It's very Web 2 like that. With Croesus, users' private keys are stored in an Amazon Web Services hardware security module. This HSM is a unique computer designed to store sensitive information. It encrypts the user's key with a master key that cannot leave the hardware module. This eliminates the need for seed words or private keys that are stored on the device or kept as a paper backup. Now, to log into Croesus, users click a link within an email. This helps prevent hackers from stealing passwords, although there are some problems with that. The app also uses 2FA to protect the account in the case that a user's email address becomes compromised. When sending crypto, users don't need to cut and paste crypto addresses on Croesus. Instead, the app allows users to register for a free Croesus domain name through Unstoppable Domains, which they can use to send crypto to others. Croesus is not the only wallet to offer seedless onboarding through Magic SDK. Immutable is also developing a seedless wallet called Immutable Passport that uses the same infrastructure. The launch of new wallets like Croesus could boost the adoption of crypto in the coming years. This is because they make it easier and more secure for people to store and use crypto. In addition, the crypto markets are currently experiencing a bear market, although that might be changing. This means that prices are down and the market has a lot of uncertainty. However, bear markets are often followed by bull markets, so this could be an excellent time to buy crypto at a discount. Now, overall, the launch of new wallets and the current bear market are both positive signs for the crypto industry. They could help to boost adoption and lead to a bull market in the near future. And that's going to do it for us tonight. I want to thank you, my listeners, because when you stop listening, I will stop talking. If you enjoyed tonight's show, then please like, follow, subscribe, leave a rating, or maybe a review. And in the meantime, we'll see you tomorrow night.